It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
Let's go, baby.
It's one of the NFL's newest venues, but it's already earned a reputation as one of its best. This is US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Alongside my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott, and this is a matchup, Brock, that we may see many, many times in the future of this league. A couple of rookie starters leading their offenses at quarterback.
And that really does make it a measuring stick game for both of them, Kate. Rookie quarterbacks in the draft, they're always linked to each other. From the moment they're tabbed, the starters in their first season. And then when you get to look across and you get to play for them, you know that both of them want to be the one who leads their guys to a win, because that's a victory that will be talked about both for the rest of their rookie season and beyond.
Has it all teed up. And off we go from Minneapolis. On the return, here's Ray McLeod. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So out head the Falcons for their first possession. And leading them out is a master at overcoming adversity before and after being drafted 8th overall in 2024. Out of your alma mater, Washington, it's Michael Penix Jr.
One of the big advantages of Michael Penix coming into the league is it wasn't storybook in college. In fact, he got beat up in Bloomington. Everybody remembers the end at Washington, the runner-up for the Heisman, the national title game, but he took a beating. Injuries derailed many of his years back at Indiana. And I think because of that background, because of all that gets built through that adversity, he's more than ready for everything that comes his way in the NFL. You hear defensive coaches preach this all the time about not giving up the big play. Keep everything in front of you. They're going to need to stay vigilant because he's definitely a receiver who can take the lid off of a defense.
They'll run it here with Bijan Robinson. This is ahead for about 5. That tackle made by Blake Cashman. There's 5 on that play. They need 5 more now on 3rd down.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
Penix on 3rd down. Able to hit Robinson, complete. They gain 14 on the play. And the Falcons will have a first.
Hey, Kate, they don't rightly care who it's going to go to in that situation. All they really care about are the results on 3rd down. And that's exactly the result they needed, enough to keep this drive moving.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Penix. Pass is caught, that's Darnell Mooney. And he'll get this through the midfield stripe and starts pushing into Vikings territory.
Kate, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes, just like that.
Got it, man. Robinson has it. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
When there's heat, that blitz coming off the snap, that QB's eyes, you could see it right away. He got to his check down in a hurry. But, Kate, here's the key. Quarterback and running back have to be on the same page. The two were right there, and it netted some positive yards.
1st and 10, a run to Robinson. Good little rip there. Looks like about 6. Ivan Pace able to make the stop. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game. Right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
Throwing for the pistol, Penix. Getting out to his left. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. Well, after recording the sack, it looks like he is the one who's shaken up. We're going to get a stoppage here as he gets looked at. 3rd and 10. Can this offense get it done? Penix here from the gun. Searches from the pocket. Can't find anyone open. He's forced to throw it away.
There was almost no resistance offered against a rush that came off the line ready to maul anything in sight. It was all the QB could do to get rid of that before he gets absolutely clobbered.
So with the Falcons set to punt on 4th, on comes Bradley Pinion. Oh, he nearly coffin cornered that one. Just a little too far, and it's out of the side of the end zone for a touchback. So we'll see the Vikings offense now for the first time. And they're brought out by the 10th pick of the 2024 draft, a national champion at Michigan, J.J. McCarthy.
All J.J. has ever done in his career, no matter where he's been, is win. And there is something to that. I know at times it's hard to measure how much of it was him, how much of it the people around him. Most importantly, just ask his teammates over the years. They love playing with him. That is a characteristic that's important, and I don't think talked about enough, Kate. Do your guys in the huddle want to play for you? Do they believe in you? Everywhere J.J. has been, he's lit up that huddle, and success has followed.
Putting a receiver in motion. 2nd down carry for Jones. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
McCarthy throwing on 3rd down. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
It's exactly how you draw it up defensively. A 3-and-out and a sack on top of it. Create that negative play. Create a little doubt in that quarterback's mind. And offensively, well, that's the worst way to start it. No rhythm, no tempo, and now you give the ball right back to the opponent.
Now we'll see Ryan Wright come on for the Vikings to punt this away on 4th. That's fielded at the 46. And he's brought down before the return gets far. Officially a 55-yard launch. And the Falcons are going to be in great shape as they take over. They'll run the draw with Robinson. He's got a gain of 6 there. That tackle made by Blake Cashman. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
From the 42. Got a man, it's Drake London. And he's a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before going out. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And it's good for an Atlanta 1st down. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Penix now on 1st down. Nabbed by Kyle Pitts. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. Pickup of 12 on that play. And the Falcons will have a 1st.
Sure nice to see them looking for their tight ends in the passing game. Such great size to have out there. It really forces defenses to try to find a way to defend them along with everybody else.
Working inside the red zone. Has him on the quick hitter. And able to get this down to the 15 before going out.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. And again, it's Penix. The throw is caught. And he's out of bounds at the 4. Oh, he was thinking touchdown there. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
The smartest pass catchers I've ever been around, they know how to set up an outcut beautifully. They recognize when they have leverage, how to sell the deep route, and then boom, they just break it out as if it's nothing.
Here he goes on the bootleg. Oh, put way too much on that one, Brock. Over the end zone and out.
Everybody wants to play quarterback until a play like that. Almost no resistance off the ball and the defense ready to maul you. It was all he could do to get rid of it before he gets just clocked.
So the incompletion on first. Here's 2nd and goal. Penix working from the gun. And that's complete in the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. The Falcons take a 6-0 lead in the first quarter. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
Young Hui Koo on for the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Falcons will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Out to kick it away, here's Pinion. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. He's stopped on the return at the 27. Now for the second time this game, we get a look at this Vikings offense. And they haven't gotten their legs under them on offense just yet, Brock. 3 plays and a punt on their opening drive. They'll go play action here. It's McCarthy. Fires right away, but incomplete. This one intended for the running back. So 2nd down coming up.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
As a defense, you got to see the pass. You got to time up your hit, and you got to jar that ball loose. Not a lot of offensive players are hanging on to that one through a well-placed hit.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. From the shotgun, McCarthy. He's on the move. He's running for it. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. They get 13 on the pickup. And that's going to give the Vikings the 1st down.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. 1st and 10. Here's Jones. And he gets up for a gain of about 4.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Staying on the ground with Jones. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Leonard Floyd bringing that play to a close.
You know, Kay, one of the reasons it's so hard to run the ball in the NFL is to move grown men off their spot against their will. You get a run play like that, you've done your job. You've moved them against their will, and you've set yourself up for some later success.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. That one gains 7. And it'll bring up a Minnesota 1st down.
That pitch and catch won't show up as a big play on the stat sheet, but it gives his own defense a little time to rest and gives an offensive coordinator a new set of downs to work with.
On play action now, McCarthy. Connects with his back, Aaron Jones. We'll have him gain about a handful there. David Onyemata there for the stop. So before they can get set and snap it, the clock runs out on quarter one. Neither side separating much so far. More from US Bank Stadium after the break. We're ready now for the second quarter to begin. Vikings in control of it. They're advancing it well as they face second down. As a man, Justin Jefferson. And they get this down to the 28. It's a pickup of 11. And that's going to give the Vikings the first down.
Not met many receivers in my life that don't love the spotlight, but you got to earn your place there. The easy way to do it, catches just like that, going up into double coverage and making the play anyway.
Bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with first and goal.
Well, that one was drawn up and delivered beautifully, efficiently. If it's not circled on the call sheet already, you better believe it is now.
They'll break the huddle and come up on first and goal. Jones. And he'll knife his way through for a pickup of 4. Now it's second and goal from the 1. Another try for Jones. And he's in for the touchdown. The Vikings start to fight back with their first points of this game. It's an Aaron Jones touchdown. Now it's Will Reichert on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Vikings tie this game 7-7. Here's Reichert set to kick this away. Here's Jamal Agnew on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Falcons and receiver Darnell Mooney headed out there now. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3 and out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building. The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
Second and 3 now. Here's a counter give to Robinson. Oh, he lost the football. And no turnover. It's going to stay with the offense. A 9-yard gain and good for a first down. Well, you don't like to see the fumble, but hey, at least they were able to be the ones to recover it, and they keep possession.
Yeah, and I think the key there was to stay calm through the chaos. Cooler heads prevailed and got him the ball back.
Play action. Here's Penix. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Vikings take over after forcing the first turnover of this ball game.
Oh, he was looking, Kate. He was trying to find a lane. but just simply nowhere to go. I don't think he'll be too heartbroken heading to the sidelines, though. He still made the play, took the ball away, got his defense off the field, and now sets his offense up for success.
The Vikings and Aaron Jones headed back out there on offense. And the turnover puts them right back out there. Just a few plays since they scored that touchdown.
Well, they didn't get much time to rest, but guess what, Kate? That defense didn't get much time to rest either. Now you can go in attack mode while they're still shaking off that last touchdown.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
You know, that was almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover and provide the hit that dislodges the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays deep.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Escapes the pocket. He tucks it and takes off. It's out of harm's way after stringing together some nice yards on that run.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
Throwing on third, McCarthy. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's going to be taken down a yard shy of the 25. Big gain, 14 on the play. And it'll bring up a Minnesota first down.
Kate, I can promise you, you go back and look at the most efficient offenses in the NFL over the last couple decades, one thing will resonate. You've got to be able to attack the middle of the field. It's great to do it with receivers. It's awesome with tight ends. But when you get that influence from your running backs, man, you become a dangerous offense to stop.
He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. Jones once more. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. A couple yards on the run. It's 3rd and 6 now. Throwing with a blitz on the way. Able to find Hawkinson. And able to get this down to the 15 before going out. And that play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving. A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. Slot man motioned over. Straight ahead they go with Jones. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, a give to Jones. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You know, Kate, if you notice those guys that love to feed themselves on the field, right? They love to just get more and more. They're hungry for even more. I'll tell you what, that tackle, it prevented something that's going to be a lot bigger, but that back remains hungry.
They go play action on first. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the pressure drives them backwards.
And right there's the danger, Kate, when you put the ball in the air. How many times do we see these coordinators, when you get a nice run, right, you gain some steam on the ground, you stick with the ground game. They don't. They call the pass, and the defense reacts, and reacts well with a sack.
Driven backward to the 11 as they line up for 2nd and goal. Another try following the sack. Catch is made in close. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. Started a little slow, but we've arrived at the 2-minute warning. It's the Vikings. With it, 3rd and 2. Jones goes up and over for the touchdown. The Vikings get some late points and the lead. It's an Aaron Jones touchdown. A lot of pressure on him in that moment, Brock. Find a way to score. Don't let it go to 4th and goal. And he finds a way to come through and gets in the end zone for 6.
And how about the other side? Beating the defense right there as well. That group who was so close to pulling off the goal line stand, yet all that motivation wasn't enough to stop him on 3rd and goal.
Reichert on for the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Vikings break that tie and now lead by 7. Reichert set to kick this away. McLeod now returning it. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Falcons ready for their next possession. They've stalled out since that first touchdown, Brock, while their opponents have done the opposite. They've heated up, and their original 7-point lead, now a deficit of 7. Completed over the middle. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And it's good for an Atlanta first down.
You know, they really love that drag route because he's one of those guys that can count on not only to make the catch, but create after the catch. If they don't close on him quickly, he can add a lot of yards before someone tracks him down.
It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. That tackle made by Blake Cashman.
You know, Kate, it is so hard on these defenses to try to keep an eye and monitor on these running backs when they leave the backfield, especially if he's waiting to chip a defender or delays in the start of his route. He's really an underrated part of their overall passing game.
2nd and 6 now. He's on the move. Steps up and he's running with it. The Falcons spend the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. New set of downs for him from the 46. Penix on first down. Short pass brought in. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 11. And the Falcons will have a first.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend? Do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
They're set up at the 35 now. Able to hit Robinson, complete. And he's out just a second shy of reaching the red zone. Give him 13 on that play. And it's good for an Atlanta first down.
That's called the quarterback's best friend, Kate. Gains like that on the screen aren't possible without everyone doing their job. One missed assignment is the difference between a big gain and being dropped for a loss.
Got it, man. Robinson has it. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Timeout taken by the offense, their second. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 16. This one's caught. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. Now the offense going to take its 3rd and final timeout. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. 4 downs now to get in. Here's first and goal. From the shotgun, Penix. And through the back of the end zone and out of bounds.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
So after the incomplete pass, here's second and goal. And again, it's Penix. And he sails that one over the end zone.
Just something off in the rhythm of their passing game on that one. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back into rhythm.
Buckle up, it's third and goal. Penix here from the gun. And no one had a shot at that. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Well, you got to have a short memory in the NFL. Incompletions happen. Now you got to make the adjustment and go get the next one.
So now on fourth down, the Falcons electing to send Young Hui Koo after the field goal. High percentage look for him here from the left hash. The kick by Lutz is good. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
In that close, kicks have to be automatic. That won't stop the head coach, though, from holding his breath for a couple seconds until he sees it's up and good.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. Return starts from the goal line. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on first down. We will not get another play here, Brock. That's to an E. Time's going to run out on the half. So we've reached halftime in Minneapolis with the Vikings out in front at the break. Now we'll get you down to our Orlando studios for the EA Sports Halftime Report with Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Kate, sit tight. We'll get back to you and Brock in just a moment. But for now, this is our halftime report. In that first half, it was the veteran Aaron Jones who had it going. He chipped in a couple of touchdown runs as he was running with determination right from the word go.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. Returning it from the 4. His return gets him to the 32-yard line before he's taken down. Here's the Minnesota offense headed out to start this third quarter. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Throwing on first, it's McCarthy. He lobs it up, looking deep to the right side. Brought in inside the 20. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain.
The ability to take any completion, short or deep down the sideline, and continue adding yardage, that's called yak, and every coach loves it.
Going jumbo set on this first and goal. Working inside the red zone. And they score! It's a Minnesota touchdown! The Vikings grow the lead coming out of halftime. Right on the edge of the goal line for first and goal, and I don't know about you, partner, but that surprised me that they just threw it in. No attempts at running it.
Yeah, I think it is so hard for these defenders. You got to be so keyed in, and physically, you know you've got to stop that run first. So a first down pass play can and certainly was effective.
Reichert on for the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Vikings drive their lead to 11. Here's Reichert set to kick this away. McLeod now returning it. This return makes it up to the 25. The Falcons and running back Bijan Robinson getting set to begin another drive. And what we saw in the first half wasn't an anomaly, partner. They've kept throwing it to him as we work throughout the rest of this game, and the results have been just as good. Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Harrison Smith in on the stop. Halfway there on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Penix working from the gun. He'll get this complete to Pitts. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
I can't tell you how nice it is to have a big, trustworthy tight end in the passing game. Such great size to have, and he forces those defenses to find a way to try to match up when they can't.
Penix now on first down. Throw reeled in by London. And he's able to move past the 45 before going out. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 47, Pitts brings it in. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Look up contested catch in the football dictionary, and you'll see that. I mean, I can't critique the defense there. They're in the hip pocket of that tight end. But these contested catches, these tight ends that can separate with their hands, utilize their body, even when you're covered, you're not.
Here's Robinson up the middle. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
Well, I'll steal a line from one of my buddies, but I'm going to quote him. Mark Schlereth, 2-time Super Bowl winner, says if you want to run the ball, you got to keep running the ball. And that's a perfect example of it. Don't get tired. Don't get mad at gaining 4 yards. It's a run that can set up even more in the run game.
On 2nd down, Robinson. And the push forward doesn't get beyond the line. That tackle made by Blake Cashman. Looks like no gain on 2nd down, and that leads us to 3rd and 6.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
Third down, it's Penix. That's caught for the first. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset?
It's what these quarterbacks are having to do more often now than ever before in football. Show off a little mobility. Get outside the pocket and find that open man.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Flushed out of the pocket. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Even if this QB knew from the very get-go somebody be waiting for him, there's no chance he was going to salvage that play. I'd be surprised if he even got a second to look upfield before he was greeted with the big old open arms for an easy sack.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. Trying again, following the sack. And he brings it in, but got too close to the sideline there. They're ruling him out of bounds. We've got 3rd down.
You know, that is such a bummer because as a quarterback, gosh, you got to give your receiver enough space and enough real estate to make that catch in bounds. That was off just enough to carry the receiver to the sideline before he could establish possession.
Penix facing a 3rd and long. Escapes the pocket. And the Vikings rush brings him down. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
I know we talk about rhythm a lot when it comes to music, but it's the same thing with the quarterback and his protection. This QB was in rhythm, but they knocked the notes out of him on that one.
So now on 4th down, the Falcons electing to send Younghoe Koo after the field goal. He hit his first one. His second one's coming from inside of 40. The kick by Lutz is good. And that brings the deficit back within a score, 8 points.
Inspiring a bunch of confidence in himself right there, Kate. Second time they brought him out for a field goal, and second time, well, he's knocked it right through. Trust is earned in a number of different ways on the field, but that's the best way to gain it as a kicker.
All right, that lead cut down to 8 after that score, and the kick is away. Has this at the 6. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Vikings taking the field on offense. They've certainly had no issues scoring, but their opponents have been right there with them, so they can really use some more points on this drive. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They'll go play action here. It's McCarthy. Bails out of the pocket, and they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Hey, God bless the Ted Washingtons, Casey Hamptons, Vince Wilforks, all them run stuffers back in the day. But the D-tackles of today, you not only have to stuff the run, you have to eat up the pass, too, and that D-tackle just got it done.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. On play action now, McCarthy. Into the hands of Jefferson, complete. He gets it forward for a gain of 3. Arnold Ebiketie makes it there for the stop. Falcons going nickel to defend this 3rd down play. They'll run the draw with Jones. And he's brought down after a short gain. Nothing for them there. Maybe 1 yard. That's going to be 4th down.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of reaction time you want when you face a draw play. They broke on it shortly after the draw started, and they contained it to a minimal gain.
Minnesota lined up in punt formation. And this is the 2nd time he's been brought on to kick it. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. Here's Atlanta ready to take over possession. And as much as we thought we'd be watching highlights here, talking about this passing game, Brock, it's been the guys on the other side of the ball who've come in and stolen that spotlight.
Yeah, and in an offensive-driven league, and one that's sometimes even legislated that way, it's nice and refreshing to see a defense put together an effort like this.
Amen.
Be the ones everybody's talking about for how well they've played on their side of the ball.
And he has enough room to gain about 4.
Well, no springing a big play on that one. It's just going to simply be used as a setup play, whether that's another run or eventually what I love, setting up a play-action pass off that counter action.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 39. On the move, headed right. Now he takes it. And he's going to be brought down at the 42.
It's one of those situations, not much to be had there no matter what he did with the ball. Even if he scraped a positive gain out of it, that's still a win and a confidence builder for this defense.
And the Vikings add an extra defensive back for this 3rd down. A toss now to Robinson. And this one does not go far. It's a gain of only 1 yard. That's going to leave him with a 4th and 2.
Yeah, that defense was flying to the ball. You see that outside toss. This is a pursuit drill that they work on over and over again. Get to that toss before it can really get started.
The Falcons getting ready for the punt. And this will be his 2nd effort of the contest. And he's there to make the fair catch right at the 10-yard line. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And the Vikings are going to take over from deep in their own side. Here's McCarthy, 1st and 10. That's into the hands of Moore. And he'll get this up to the 18-yard line. Second and 3 now. This is the end of the 3rd quarter. It's Vikings ball, working to carry this lead through to the end. Second and 3 now. Jones trying the left side. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Third and a lone yard coming up. Now a give up the middle to Jones. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
That's a BYOB. You got to be your own blocker. It would have taken the entire defense piling on to stop him from getting that 1st down. Well done.
1st and 10 now from the 30. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Sideline shot is snagged by Hawkinson. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
Kate, if there was one throw in the game plan that kept me up at night more than any other, it was an out route versus zone coverage. Because you got to throw with anticipation, but you also got to make sure those defenders' eyes aren't reading you like a book.
From the 36. Able to find Hawkinson. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. That's good for 7 yards. And that's going to give the Vikings the 1st down.
You know, Kay, that is the epitome of trust right there. Right? When the ball is let out of his hands, I think everybody on the sidelines in the stadium went, because he threw it in double coverage. And you may question the decision, but it's tough to challenge it when it produces results like that.
And this one doesn't go far. The rookie from Notre Dame able to take him down. Second down now, 7 to go. From the gun, Jones gets it. And a bit of deja vu as they stop him at the line once again.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just times you got to run in the darkness. And when linebackers fill that hole like that right in the middle of the field, he ran right into the darkness and the pain of that linebacker.
3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. Addison going to motion over left. McCarthy throwing on 3rd down. Sideline, he's got it, and he gets the feet down too. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
That's pretty impressive, Kate. I mean, to have the awareness, the body control to not just secure the ball, but to keep both feet down on the sideline.
New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. First and 10, here's McCarthy. He's throwing deep to the left side. And this is going to end up incomplete. He really aired it out there on 1st down, but just couldn't make the connection.
I like that, Kate. That's going to keep a defense honest. That proves that they're not afraid to take a shot on any given snap. And with enough looks, eventually, one's going to hit.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Here's Jones. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. They get about 4 there. Need a little more than that now on 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. He's got... Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
As we're into the 4th quarter, we know this. We know that money down could not be any more important than right now. Both sides are certainly fatigued. You feel it in both their play. But battling through what's been a physical contest all game long, going to be the key here down the stretch.
The Vikings getting their punt team out. Ryan Wright's the one to send it away. So this one goes out of bounds inside the 20, but not by much. They're giving him the 18-yard line. Onto the field runs the Atlanta offense. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. They'll run the draw with Robinson. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Sometimes the surprises work out for a nice game. And sometimes, well, those surprises, they don't surprise anybody, and you're left hoping your running back just gets up.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. They go play action. Here's Penix. He put everything he had into this one. And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete. Clean breakup on that throw. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long.
I don't fault the look downfield at all. I mean, that was just a situation there where it's a better defensive play than the offense executing.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Shotgun snap, a give to Robinson. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain. It's a gain of 5, but they still need a bunch here on 4th down.
You know, some positive yardage there, Kate, but just as important, they're mixing up their play calling, and they could very well be setting up the defense for a big play later.
They'll send out the punting unit. And he's only a handful of yards from his own goal line. And he sends this away, definitely his best kick of the game thus far. And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. We've got a stoppage now. There was a player shaken up on that return, so we'll take a brief break as they tend to him. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. And he can only manage 1 yard. The defenders were at the ready to bring him down.
This is one of those real modest gains, Kate, that I like as a call. Adds just a little more variety to your playbook. Makes that defense wonder. Those guys on the other side of the ball think a little bit. This dude's not just a receiver. He may get in the run game as well.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. Rolling left, buying some time. He takes it himself. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped.
You know, that may have been a situation when you look back on it and he watches the tape the next day, and he's got to find a way to throw the ball because his running ability, while it gets him some yards, is not enough to get the 1st down.
It's the 2-minute warning here in Minneapolis. Vikings leading by 8. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. This is Jones on the handoff. And he gets taken down immediately right at the line of scrimmage. So quickly the defense burns a timeout here. 1:57 remaining in the game. On now comes their punter. And he's hoping for a well-placed strike. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. And something on the return, but not much, as it still ends inside the 20. That punt gets up to 59 yards. And the Falcons will have plenty of work to do on their next drive. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw it. Throwing the out route complete. And he'll get it up to the 27. Now the Falcons trying to get everyone up and set here. Setting up to pass. Into the hands of Pitts. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. Give him 30 yards on that one. And the Falcons will have a first.
One thing we don't have in football is we don't have that radar gun. But if we did, Kate, this is the kind of throw when you throw it that deep outside the numbers that requires a serious fastball, serious arm strength, and he just showed it off.
And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. Timeout taken by the offense, their second. Still one more in their pocket to use. To the line for a new set of downs, only a lone timeout at their disposal. Back to throw. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it second down.
I think we're starting to get a feel, aren't we, of why they like him so much in coverage. He reacts well to throws, is super adept at breaking up passes through contact, or like that one before they could ever reach the target.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Here he is to throw. He'll get this complete to Pitts. And he's out of bounds right at that 25-yard line.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Now to throw. Got a man. Robinson has it. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Well, that's one of the moments as a QB you just feel like those defenders are in your huddle. To drop them for a loss on 3rd down can't happen. That's an incredibly quick read by the defense.
Now the Falcons trying to get everyone up and set here. And it's not over yet, football fans. He scores, and now a 2-point conversion will force overtime. A second touchdown through the air for Brock, and independent of the game situation, we both know he's going to be happy to leave the field with 2 of them in one game.
1 touchdown, you just might be right time, right place, but 2 touchdowns in a game is always about the preparation. The separations and the preparation. It's doing that work on the practice field and knowing before the game that when my number's called, I'm going to be there to deliver.
So here we go, the Falcons lining up for a big 2-point conversion attempt. And again, it's Penix. And they can't connect that time, and after the touchdown, unfortunately, can't finish off the 2 they needed to tie this game and force overtime. Oof, their comeback hopes are dwindling by the second, but any path to victory starts with a successful onside try here. I think the Falcons got that one back. Oh, they did! Well, Brock, you can't blame him with how tough it is to recover an onside kick anymore, but he did hit it before it went 10 yards, so they had to throw the flag. Into the victory formation they go, Brock, here on 1st down. The Vikings into victory formation here as they take a knee. The Falcons take a timeout to their final one. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. A kneel down here, and they can start to celebrate this win. Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So they are indeed kings in the north as the Vikings win it at home. This is the type of game everyone was hoping they'd see when they entered this stadium, Brock, you and I included. A close one that went all the way down to the final whistle.
And Kay, this is one of the bigger adjustments a college player has to make to the NFL. In college, you get a lot of blowouts. The NFL, every game you get calloused because you know more often than not they'll be like this, a one-possession game. It's not about how you start. It's all about how you finish.
So for my partner Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings emerge as winners as we bid you farewell from Minneapolis.